My history with ayahuasca goes back to, as with so much in my life, to a book I wrote. And that book was Supernatural, which was published in 2005, which was looking specifically at the role of altered states of consciousness in the human story. It's another one of those stories that's very neglected because our society has been so opposed to altered states of consciousness. As we all know, our society will send us to prison for altering our consciousness with certain substances. It's been very, very opposed to it, and an ideological war has been projected against substances that produce altered states of consciousness. Not all substances. I mean, Ritalin produces altered states of consciousness. It's made by Big Pharma. It alters consciousness, and it's freely prescribed to hyperactive teenagers. Seroxat and Prozac are antidepressants. Making billions for Big Pharma, they also alter consciousness. They're okay in our society, apparently, even though they're often associated with suicidal thoughts and suicidal behavior and all kinds of negative activities. But other substances which alter consciousness, like psilocybin or LSD or DMT, those are demonized by our society, and it's considered a terrible, terrible thing to do, to get involved with those substances at all. So we're confronting an ideological conflict around those substances, and what I have wanted to show is that really for thousands of years, human beings have worked with plant medicines. They have been an integral part of human culture, central to human culture. Not something bad or wicked, not an aberration, but something central to the human experience, which was nourishing and teaching. That's why they call them teacher plants in the Amazon. And then we have our society that comes along. It's just this little blip, of 100 years of high-tech industrialized civilization, and it suddenly pronounces that this whole human heritage is completely wrong, and that we should only take certain consciousness-altering drugs made by particular companies and nothing else. So it's a mind control exercise which is going on around these plants. And what I've realized as I've gone further and further into this is that all ancient civilizations were using means to alter consciousness, and that they were central to some of the best and greatest achievements of those ancient civilizations. There's no doubt that the ancient Egyptians were deeply into visionary experience. There's an amazing relief from the second shrine of Tutankhamun, where you see a row of 3 initiates, and they are connected to a star in the sky by rays that are coming right down into their foreheads. This is a visionary realm. This is a visionary experience that they're having. And oddly enough, the Skidi Pawnee in North America have the same thing of star visions, that they will gaze at a particular star and suddenly that star will start to communicate with them. And of course, everybody in modern industrial society just laughs down their sleeves at that. But maybe we shouldn't be laughing down our sleeves at that. Maybe we should be considering that the depth of human experience is more than just material things and technology and our egos. Maybe there's much more to it than that. And that's why I got into ayahuasca, I did not feel that I could write authentically about the plant medicines if I had not had the plant medicine experience myself. When I then had the plant medicine experience, I realized that this wasn't just a research project for me. This was work on myself that I needed to do. And that's why I've continued to work with ayahuasca. It's not something I rush towards. As you know, it's hard work. It's physically hard work. It's emotionally hard work. It's psychically hard work. There's all the vomiting and the diarrhea, sometimes more, sometimes less. It's not something that you rush towards in absolute delight. It's like, this is a lesson that I really need to learn, and I'm prepared to put up with a certain amount of discomfort in order to learn that lesson, and even a certain amount of fear, because ayahuasca trips can be very scary too, sometimes.